Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am filming for you guys a almost completely full face of Drugstore first impression. So I recently did a high-end full face. Let's try again. A full face first impressions using high-end products. Haha, I did that, but I couldn't look at the camera. I had to like I don't have a new powder, a new lip, or a new brow product. But everything else is brand new. I haven't touched it. I haven't used it yet. Let's do this. I'm not going to do a wear test with this first impressions. In future videos, I want them to be full wear test videos, but the problem is I try and pre-film since it's kind of hard for me to film during the week unless I stay up really late to film, which I don't really want to do. So I'm going to prime my face using this. This is the Maybelline Prime by Face Studio Blur and Illuminate. I really love the Blur and Smooth one, so I figured I'd try the Blur and Illuminate. I don't have a mirror. I hate putting on primers on camera just because, ooh. This is really sticky, but I do look very dewy and glowy. Okay. I don't know if it really did any blurring. Sort of, but not really. It did a really nice job right here on my nose, but it didn't do such a great job here, which this is more of my problem pore zone. Let's do my brows. Okay, so to prime my eyelids, because this is kind of how I've been priming lately, I'm going to use a concealer because I don't have a Drugstore eye primer to try out that's new. This is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. I have mine in the shade 00 Light Natural, sorry, which looks a little dark. Hopefully this works. This is like a little pack of Real Techniques sponges that you can buy at like Ulta or Walgreens or wherever you find Real Techniques near you in store. That felt like it was a lot of concealer though. Not gonna lie. Looks pretty good. It actually looks really darn close to my skin tone. I just really hope it doesn't oxidize when I put it under my eyes or anything like that. The Catrice line, while I've heard some good things about it, it does not have a great shade range. Like, really not a good shade range. There's 3 shades in the foundation, which is the foundation I'm going to use today as well. So I do have on deck my white mix-in from LA Girl, which I haven't tried yet. I figured this is full face first impressions for the Drugstore. Why not break it out now? But yeah. Yeah, so I'm feeling like this is decent coverage. It is a little yellowy actually, now that I'm looking at it a little better in my view. On the viewfinder, it looks like a perfect match, but in person, is a hair bit too yellow for me. Or maybe it's just too neutral, who knows. This is a Sephora all over eyeshadow brush. Today, the eyeshadow palette I'm going to be using is this guy from ColourPop, which I haven't really had a chance to use yet. This is the ColourPop I Think I Love You palette. It looks like this. It's very nice and cool toned, which is what I'm feeling. I'm going to use I just started digging into it without even saying anything. I'm going to use this guy right here to this one right here, which is like a satiny cream shade to set my whole eye area. Oh, that is not a lighter shade. Oh crap. Well, this is darker than I thought it was. It's a lot more creamy than it looks in the palette. There's also a ton of fallout. And yeah, okay. And just as a reminder to you guys, unless I know otherwise from using a palette before, I always do my eyes before I do my face. Next, I'm going to go into this shade right here as a transition kind of shade. I don't know. I would zoom you guys in more, but I feel like, I don't know, it just bothers me a tiny bit to be zoomed in that much. The second thing about Drugstore palettes. This is a Japanese brush, not a Morphe brush. I'm not going to do anything super crazy or out there. I'm just wanting it to be cool toned. Concentrating it all up and out here. And then taking whatever is left in my crease and then blending. Okay, maybe I do have to zoom in just a tiny bit. See what I mean about this being a little too yellowy, but there's only so much I can do now that I've started. I just realized that the back of this ColourPop palette actually has names on it. Ooh, I went a little hard on that side. Where's my Blendy Outy brush? So the first, so just to go back and reiterate, the shade I set my whole lid with was Rowdy, and the one that is in my crease right now is Bel Air. So now I'm gonna go in with a bit of My Type, which is the dark brown in the corner. And I'm just gonna take this angled brush from e.l.f. that I bought like a decade ago, and just place this right here. And I'm literally just creating that Nike swoosh. Don't worry, I'm gonna blend all this out in just a minute. I'm just gonna blend it out with that Japanese brush that I used in the crease. No, I feel like this harsh line right here is still here and it just won't blend. Okay, now all over the lid, I'm gonna go in with the champagne shade, which is called My Treat. I don't know, we shall see. Hopefully I don't need any Fix Plus. I'm taking this on some brush off of eBay or Amazon or something like that. Hopefully I don't need Fix Plus. Please don't let me need Fix Plus. Ooh, okay. I do not need Fix Plus. What up, ColourPop? Okay. Like I said, I'm keeping it pretty neutral, simple for this look. And I'm really only putting this on the inner 2/3 of my lid, and then I'm going back in with that edge brush. I'm just blending it all out. There we go. So that's really pretty. I'm gonna use a little bit, so I don't want to use Fix Plus just because this is a drugstore tutorial. So I'm gonna try this Milani one and see if that, oh, I'm gonna spray it backwards. Definitely makes a difference. So there's just for comparison, this is the side with the setting spray, without the setting spray. That shadow just does not want to blend. I don't know what is going on with this outer corner shade, but no matter what I try, it just won't blend seamlessly into that. So I'm just gonna give up and move on. I feel now that this cream shade, the shimmer shade, I mean, looks a little patchy actually on my lids. So keep that in mind. I don't know if it's because I'm layering it or what, but it looks a little patchy. Okay, now for mascara, I'm gonna really quickly go in and do this. This is the CoverGirl Total Tease mascara. Never used this. This has got the weird looking little wand. See, I don't know how I feel about that, but we will try it. Let's give it a whirl. This is really awful. Okay, this mascara is not the greatest. I will probably be tossing this. Okay, so that was really hard to put on actually. So actually the weird little bump on the top portion right here is actually really helpful, just because it makes it really easy to get your inner corner and your outer corner if you're someone who has very almondy shaped eyes. However, I feel like it did not coat my lashes very evenly, and I feel like my right eye looks a lot more clumpy at the tips, whereas on this side it built up a lot nicer at the base of my eyelashes. So I don't know, that's just weird. Okay guys, so we're gonna move on and do the face now. So I really wanted to try using this out. I mentioned it a little bit ago, but this is the Catrice HD Liquid Foundation in 010 Light Beige. It says to shake well. Oh, so yeah, I'm gonna take a couple drops of this and then add in like a half a drop of the white foundation, which I haven't used yet either. So like I said, double the first impressions. And I'm putting it on a Makeup Forever palette that I got when I worked at Sephora. I'm gonna take a full dropper of the foundation. This is uber liquidy, holy crap. And then I'm gonna take like 2 drops of the white. I'm gonna cocktail mix this up right up in here. And I'm just gonna take this BH Cosmetics brush that I've got right now. It's definitely looking a little bit lighter. Let's cross our fingers and pray. Thank God. Okay. Definitely looking light enough. Now I'm just gonna take this sponge. I cannot remember where this came from. I wanna say it's a, Morphe. I don't know. It's not Morphe. Oh, it'll come to me. I got it in some kind of a... Actually, I think it was a Morphe sponge, but I don't know if they still make it. Or maybe they do and they just, you know, change the color. I don't remember. So tell me down below, have you guys tried this? It's giving me pretty decent coverage. You can still see a little bit of the pink of my redness coming through. This doesn't feel like it's setting too fast. However, in person, it just kind of looks like foundation. I mean, I do think it looks very nice. It ended up being a very good color match for me. So considering the Catrice is guaranteeing to give you full coverage, I'll have to try it on its own. But the problem is, since I know that this, just looking at this in a bottle, it's too dark. This is supposed to be lightweight, non-oily texture. It feels like second skin. I will say that. It does feel like I have nothing on my skin right now. The filter on this camera is still really intense. Let me see if zooming you guys in does any good. Okay, just a little bit better. Like I said, I haven't been sleeping. This is the worst my under eyes I've ever looked. You can obviously still see my freckles coming through. This is definitely not a full coverage foundation. Definitely not. I can say that with certainty. It is not full coverage. It does feel lightweight, so I will give it that. What else does it say? Creates an even complexion with an HD finish for camera ready skin. Obviously, if I zoom you back out, granted there is a little bit of skin softener built into this and the lights are really helping. But in person, it's not awful, but it's not the best foundation I've ever used. And now I'm gonna go in with the same concealer I prepped my eyes with, which is very yellow. Oh goodness. Look at how yellow that is. Okay. This is about to backfire in a horrible, horrible way. I'm also bringing it a little bit into here. Does this have a scent? Oh, it's this. Okay, I thought for a minute it was the sponge with that smell, but nope. Nope, that was not the sponge. Oh my God. Now here's the thing when it comes to fragranced products. They are hit or miss for me on whether or not they break me out. I'm going to take this other BH Cosmetics brush and I'm just taking the Maybelline Fit Me powder. This is not a new powder, but I don't really like putting this under my eyes. If you watched my last first impressions video, I did, and this was like really dark. Like really, the flashback was intense. I look very crepey right now right here, and I don't feel like it fully covered all my darkness that I've currently got going on. But like I said, whatever. I'm not planning on using a bronzer. I'm going to jump into the blush palette, or I'm going to set my face. What am I thinking? I'm going to set my face. I'm going to go in with this giant ass Morphe brush here. This is the Morphe M551. I think it's meant to be like a bronzer brush of some kind, but I do use it for bronzer. But I also use it to set my face. I think my lights are just a little too intense today. But since it's nighttime, I just really wanted to make sure it wasn't, you know, too dark in this room. I can't see my neck because there's a photo bar thing going on here. Yeah, it's starting to oxidize a little to match. Okay, I'm not gonna put anything on my lower lash line. I'm just not really feeling it. So I'm gonna go into this Matte for Mauve palette from Ulta Beauty. And I think I want to use this shade, which is the shade Raspberry. Tap off excess. There's like no excess coming off of this, which makes me a little concerned. So it's a really nice, actually, they're not too pigmented, but it does seem to be building up quite nicely. I did use the peach one in I think it was my Colorful Fall makeup tutorial. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it up here. I know it's not quite drugstore when I'm including an Ulta product, but the Ulta line itself is very affordable. I think these blush palettes are $10. So yeah, that's pretty cute, pretty okay. Now, for highlights, I have two palettes. I have the two BH Cosmetics highlight palettes. I really, really, really want to play with the Blacklight palette. Maybe go in with like the shade over here, the pink one, which is called Illusion, and mix it with Strobe. This does not look pretty. Okay, hold on a second. Just zoom you guys in. This is all caking up in here, and I never get that. So, that's the thing, isn't it? So, I'm going to grab this, which is an e.l.f. small tapered brush. I'm gonna mix Strobe with Illusion. There's so much kickback. Oh my god. Ooh, that's gorgeous. I'm gonna take a little bit more of Strobe and just place it right up under here. You know, right here. Ooh, okay. That is actually really gorgeous. I'm not usually someone who goes for colored highlights. That actually looks really pretty. Sorry, sidebar. Now I'm gonna take this really tiny Royal and Langnickel Omnia BOM-18 brush, and I'm gonna dip into that same mixture, and I'm gonna use it as an inner corner highlight. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of Strobe under my brow bone up here. I feel like Strobe itself is iridescent, like it reflects a lot of colors, which is why it's making the pink so intense. I'm gonna take a little bit extra. I'm gonna really go crazy on the inner corner. There we go. We're going to really quickly go ahead and set all this. My lips are really chapped right now, so this isn't going to turn out looking the greatest. But I'm going to go in with the ColourPop Lippie stick in the shade Oh Snap, which is a matte. Could I have gone in with a lighter lip color? Yes. Do I want to? No, I'm kind of okay with this. So, yeah, highlight just gets me though. Because in person, it doesn't look like that. In person, if I am... if I just look at this outside of the light, like on its own, you just see a slight hint of the white highlight. You don't see purple. You only see it when the light hits it. So if I have my mirror over here and I turn my face like this, I just see a hint of a pinky white highlight there. I don't see purple. So this is truly the purple that's going on, is truly something that happens when the light hits. Let's do a rundown of everything. Definitely this highlight palette is a win for me. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. This looks amazing. I love this. I will definitely continue to play with this come holiday. The ColourPop eyeshadow kit, I'm gonna have to play around with regular eyeshadow primers. My go-to is usually when using a concealer for my lids, but for some reason this was just not wanting to blend quite nicely, so I'm gonna have to play around with this. I don't know why. I'm leaning towards an but it did its job, but it didn't blend quite so great. The Ulta Mad for Mauve palette is actually a win in my book. It's not super, super pigmented, I will say that, but it does build up nicely. So if you want to build up the color and get a good shade for yourself, you can very easily, super easily. So I encourage you to try it out. The ColourPop Lippie was not new. The Total Tease mascara is a bust. This is just going straight into an empties video. No, it just didn't, it couldn't coat my lashes evenly at all, and I don't have time to work with something that's not going to work properly like that, so no. The Maybelline Master Prime, I really liked actually. It gave my skin a very nice subtle glow, which I think will pair really nicely in the summer with like tinted moisturizers and things like that, where I don't necessarily need a super hydrating, but I just need something to give some glow to my skin. That'll be good for that. The Catrice concealer I do like. It's a little too yellowy for my skin tone, so I'm a little on the fence about that. Maybe if I mix it with like my Kat Von D L1 neutral, something like that, maybe it'll work. But like even just now, looking at this next to the rest of my face, this is so dark. For the Catrice foundation and the LA Girl, I do like the LA Girl. It gave a really nice glow to the Catrice. However, the Catrice one, and I can see it even on my arm now where I swatched, it's getting darker and darker, so this is gonna oxidize in the next 10 minutes before I take it off. This definitely was true to everything except the full coverage. I don't think this is full coverage on the first go around. Now granted, this might have sheared it out a bit, so I am gonna try this on its own, but right now I'm leaning on the fence of, I don't know if I'll even keep this because it is a little too dark for me. I might go in and exchange it for the lighter shade. There is one in, I think it's 005, so I might go in and switch that out, but. And here's my follow-up on this guy since he was in the last full face first impressions. This is great for your face. This is horrible for your under eye. Don't do what I just did in this video and use it. It's working actually in this concealer's favor because since this concealer was a little too dark, it's actually brightening up the concealer a bit, so it's working in that regard. But I would suggest not doing that because I learned my lesson in the last one. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy first impressions videos because I'll definitely try and do more of them if I can. As always, be sure to leave your comments, questions, concerns, you know, about this video or any future videos that you want to see down below. I do read them. I answer every single person. At this point, I do answer every single person who comments down there. So I love reading your guys' comments. I've had so many people telling me that they really like me and my personality, so thank you. I like my personality. I don't know. I feel so weird. This is so late to be filming. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below, and if you want to be notified every time I post a video, which if you are new to my channel, I post a video Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be sure to subscribe, and I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!